He just exposed the fact that he played a part of the DeWanna Bonner plan to scam the Indiana Fever. Just sit back and let these people talk, because when they talk, they expose themselves. And that is exactly what happened with Phoenix Mercury head coach Nate Tibbitz. She had no intentions on playing out her full contract with the Indiana Fever. This was a heist. This was a robbery.
Coach Nate Tibbitz said something after that Mercury game that no one expected to slip out. He casually dropped a line that sounded a lot like a confession, and Fever fans caught it instantly. What if DeWanna Bonner's sudden exit wasn't about fit at all?
Nate Tibbitz literally exposes how he's been planning to get DeWanna Bonner, how they orchestrated this whole thing. This was a flat-out scam from the beginning. They expose themselves every single time. You don't gotta drill them. You don't gotta just sit back.
But a pre-planned move years in the making. Today, we're breaking down the clip that fans are calling the Phoenix receipt and why everyone's asking if this is WNBA tampering in plain sight. Before we move on, I'd like to ask you a small favor. If you appreciate this content, please take a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Over 98% of you watch the videos without subscribing. It costs you nothing, but it makes a huge difference to us. So, did you click the subscribe button? Great, thank you so much. Now back to the video.
You should be under investigation for tampering with the player while they're on another roster. Should be under investigation for tampering. DeWanna Bonner should be under investigation. The Phoenix Mercury.
Fans couldn't believe it when DeWanna Bonner's name popped up on the waiver list. Just 9 games into the season. One of the biggest veteran signings of the year was gone before things even got rolling. She was supposed to be the steady hand guiding the young Fever squad, the veteran leader to help Caitlin Clark and Aaliyah Boston handle the pressure of a full WNBA grind. When she joined, every press release painted her as the missing piece. She'd been through battles, knew how to win, and was supposed to bring structure to a locker room still learning how to close games. But things flipped fast. The energy that started with hope suddenly turned into confusion the moment reporters mentioned Bonner wanting out. The team tried to keep it simple, citing fit issues. On paper, that sounded harmless, but fans weren't buying it.
Okay, the last 2 off seasons. So before we even get to this off season where she signed with the Indiana Fever, she was with the Connecticut Sun.
And luckily, the last 2 off seasons, we've tried to get DB to come back to Phoenix.
She was with the Connecticut Sun. You're tampering. You're tampering, trying to get her to go to Phoenix. You're tampering.
Other vets have switched teams later in their careers and managed to adjust seamlessly. The timing felt off, the message even more so. The Fever's statement read, "Despite our shared goals and excitement heading into the season, I felt the fit did not work out, and I appreciate the organization's willingness to grant my request to move on, particularly at this point in my career." Instead of closure, that line sparked more questions. Online, the comments started flying. People noticed Bonner never posted a goodbye to Indiana. No photo, no thank you, not even an emoji. Some fans said it looked like she'd already moved on before the news dropped.
Continue to get paid and then go join you for the salary you guys could afford from the beginning. She was with the Fever. Y'all knew she wanted a max. Y'all knew y'all didn't have the money to give her. You said that earlier in the season. We didn't have the money.
I think AT helped in that a little bit. So yeah.
So she didn't pick us twice.
To build a relationship a little bit. Unfortunately, she didn't pick us twice. Third time is a charm.
For a certain amount of time so she could get that money and then she could quit.
Then came whispers about back-channel talks, private conversations long before the waiver notice, hinting at something deeper. That's when the Phoenix receipt theory started spreading. The idea that Phoenix had been trying to pull Bonner back for years. And just when it sounded like a stretch, leaked footage appeared, and suddenly fans had a reason to think they might have been right all along. So why did one short video cause such a storm? Fans started calling it the smoking gun the minute it hit social media.
Which is how she scammed the Indiana Fever, lied, pretended that she was going to be this veteran presence for Caitlin Clark and all of this stuff. She ran to Phoenix knowing that you guys were already had a deal in place to bring DeWanna Bonner over. All of this nonsense that she had no intentions of doing, and then she quit within 8 to 10 games.
It was just a post-game press conference, no headlines, no warning, until coach Nate Tibbitz started talking about DeWanna Bonner like she was still part of Phoenix. He casually mentioned that the Mercury had been trying to get her back for the past 2 off-seasons. One line dropped mid-sentence and everything changed. To Fever fans, it sounded like confirmation that all those whispers about prearranged talks weren't speculation anymore. People replayed that clip over and over, listening to his tone, pausing, rewinding. The phrasing didn't sound like rumor, it sounded like knowledge. The mention of Alyssa Thomas made it even messier.
Wait a second, I just realized you did say Alyssa Thomas played a part in it. We already knew that was going on.
And you never know for sure how it's going to work, right? But we knew that we needed to add another veteran to our group for these situations.
Y'all had this thing orchestrated and set up, and you just admitted to trying to get this thing in order for the last 2 seasons. We already knew that was going on. She literally refused to be traded to any other team.
Suddenly, it looked like Phoenix wasn't acting alone. There might have been a quiet network of conversations happening behind the scenes, connecting players who already shared deep ties. Within hours, fans were building timelines, linking old posts, and suggesting Indiana never really had a chance to keep Bonner long-term. That's when analysts started talking about tampering. In the WNBA, teams can't recruit or negotiate with a player under contract with another franchise. The rules exist to keep competition fair, and penalties can mean steep fines or blocked signings. When a coach hints that calls were being made before free agency even opened, that's a serious issue. Online forums blew up with calls for a league review. Fans said, "If that's not tampering, what is?" The clip flipped the storyline from confusion to outrage.
Her contract, which she was contractually obligated to the Indiana Fever, she had no intentions of playing that out. She never had any intentions on finishing out a full season. This is 100% orchestrated and set up. It's obvious.
That's where the phrase Phoenix receipt came from, the idea that this was proof of silent recruiting. Others took it further, saying Phoenix used Indiana's extra cap room to stage a salary shuffle, the so-called Maxwell heist. And suddenly, this wasn't about one player anymore. It was a question of how transparent the entire league wants to be going forward. DeWanna Bonner's story goes beyond one trade. It shows what happens when loyalty, star power, and league rules blur together in today's WNBA. Fans are left asking if competitive balance means anything when private talks can reshape whole teams. Should the league start reviewing recruitment practices or tighten tampering enforcement before the next free agency window?
She just ghosted him. And what happens? She gets rewarded. She gets what she ultimately planned and wanted, which was to get traded to Phoenix. She's trying to play victim, all of this stuff. No one did anything to DeWanna Bonner. She didn't even have the decency to tell her teammates that she wasn't going to return to the team. Such bad behavior and negligence and petty stuff should not be rewarded. And this is sad.
The Fever's rebuild is still unfolding, and this saga might be the start of something bigger. Drop a comment on who you think should face accountability, and subscribe for updates as the Fever fight to take back control of their own story.